to download both the Barn Burner and ZingoTV apps in their respective app stores on iOS and Android devices. And while you download, make sure to rate and leave a comment. Both apps are 100% free. ZingoTV is also available on Google Chromecast, Amazon Fire, and Fire TV sticks, as well as Roku and Roku sticks. And they're also available on all smart TVs 2016 and forward. Now, let's get right into the sports wrap for today. So, the very first thing that we are going to be getting into is the World Series. And my God, was there a big turn in this series. Like I was originally thinking that this series was going to be like a very typical, Dodgers are going to sweep through pretty easily. Nothing's going to stop them. They're going to win. Well, I'm not so sure about that now. I'm not too sure about it. And we're going to start right in. We're going to go from Friday's game, which is game number 3. So, game number 3 prevailed. And frankly, this was a game where this is who's going to be kind of taking the series, right? This is the team that has the advantage right now. The winner of this game will have the advantage going forward in this series. And this game did not disappoint. In the first inning, Justin Turner hit a solo home run to left field to make it 1-0 early for the Los Angeles Dodgers. In the third, Max Muncy hits an RBI single to right center field. That ended up scoring 2 runs. That would be Justin Turner and Corey Seager. That made it 3-0 in the third inning. In the fourth inning, Austin Barnes hit a sacrifice bunt over to first base, and Cody Bellinger ended up scoring on the play. Now, this play right here ultimately started this inning entirely, and without this play, without Barnes being in this game, being Walker Buehler's personalized catcher, he's also Kershaw's as well. Without him in this game, Dodgers, I don't think, would have even had half the runs that they had. Because this sacrifice bunt, it was an absolutely perfect bunt down the first baseline, was easily able to score Bellinger, and Jock Peterson was also able to make it to second. That would make it 4-0. The inning was able to continue because of that, and Mookie Betts then ended up hitting an RBI single to center field. Jock Peterson ended up scoring from second on that play, and that made it 5-0 for the Dodgers in the fourth inning. Tampa Bay would score their first run of the game here in the fifth inning as Willy Adames hit a double to deep left field. Manuel Margot ended up scoring on the play. This made it still 5-1 for the Dodgers. And then Austin Barnes again in the sixth inning, in his next at bat, he hits a deep ball to center field. That would make it 6-1 from the solo shot from Austin Barnes. And in the ninth inning, Tampa Bay would tack on one more thanks to a Randy Arozarena homer to left field. That made it 6-2. But at the end of the day, that is not enough as the LA Dodgers end up taking game 3 with a final score of 6-2. Walker Buehler ended up with the win in this one. He is now 1-0 in these playoffs, and Charlie Morton ended up with the loss. Walker Buehler in this one had a no-hitter going into the sixth inning, and Buehler ended up going 6 innings, giving up 3 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, and 10 strikeouts. And for Tampa Bay in this one, Charlie Morton, 4 1/3, giving up 7 hits, 5 earned runs, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts. This loss for him would be his first loss of the postseason. Now moving on over to game number 4, the very next day on Saturday. This was an absolutely crazy game for both teams here. So let's get right into it. So here we go. Justin Turner again hitting another first inning home run, this time in game number 4, as he starts off the scoring for LA, and it's 1-0 for LA in the first inning. In the third inning, Corey Seager would hit a solo shot over to right field, and that would make it 2-0 for the Dodgers. And Randy Arozarena once again continuing to hit these bombs. Randy Arozarena hit a solo shot to right. That would cut LA's lead in half, and it would be 2-1 going into the fifth. Max Muncy then hits a single to deep right field. Corey Seager had scored on the play, but Max Muncy was thrown out at second base. That made it 3-1. And this is where all these plays here coming in, they all kind of lead to an important play later at the end of the game. The Tampa Bay Hunter Renfroe would hit a solo shot to left field in the bottom half of the inning. This made it 3-2 still for LA. Flashing over now to the 6th inning as Kike Hernandez hit a double to left field and Will Smith would score on the play. AJ Pollock was able to advance to third and LA would redouble up their lead 4-2. And then Brandon Lau in the bottom of the 6th ends up hitting a 3-run home run to left center field. Ji-Man Choi and Randy Arozarena had scored on the play as well as Brandon Lau. And this gave Tampa Bay their first lead of the night at 5-4. Now we move on over to the 7th inning. And then Jock Peterson once again hits a single to right. Justin Turner and Corey Seager had scored on the play, and Cody Bellinger ended up getting thrown out at third base. In the bottom half of the inning, Kevin Kiermaier hit a solo shot to right field, and that would tie the game up at 6-6. LA looking like they're going to be winning the game thanks to a Corey Seager single to left center field, and Chris Taylor would end up scoring on the play. However, in the bottom of the 9th inning, an unlikely hero for Tampa Bay shows up by the name of Brett Phillips as he comes through in the bottom of the 9th with an RBI single to right center field. Randy Arozarena and Kevin Kiermaier had scored on the play thanks to a Chris Taylor fielding error in that inning, and Tampa Bay would go on to take the game thanks to Brett Phillips' walk-off single with a final score of 8-7. This would indeed put the series at 2 games apiece. Now, moving on over to last night's game. This was a big game. This is a big game here for both teams because, again, like I had mentioned over in game number 3, this is the game where whoever has the lead has the momentum, or so you would think, right? Because I'm noticing that whoever wins these games, they end up losing the very next game. So going in here to the 1st inning, Corey Seager would hit a single to right field. Mookie Betts would score on the play, and this made it 1-0. LA wasn't done there. Cody Bellinger ended up reaching on an infield single. He ended up getting to second base, and Corey Seager had scored on the play. Max Muncy, ended up going to second base on the play, and this would make it 2-0 for LA. Jock Peterson ended up hitting a solo shot to center field, and that would make it 3-0 in the 2nd inning. In the 3rd inning here, Tampa Bay would start to make their comeback ever so surely. Yandy Diaz ended up hitting a triple to deep right field. Kevin Kiermaier ended up scoring on the play. And then Randy Arozarena hit a single to shallow left field, and Yandy Diaz would score on the play, and this made it 3-2. In the 5th inning, Max Muncy ended up hitting a home run to right center field, and there would be no more scoring in this one as the Los Angeles Dodgers ended up taking this one by a final score of 4-2. Clayton Kershaw was starting in this game, and to be honest with you, I was honestly